Good morning, everybody. Bob Iacchino with another Path Chat. Mike Arnold is here as well. We just wanted to give you a quick update on the currency preview that we did last week because there were a lot of things that we talked about that actually ended up happening. So no fundamental analysis because not that much has changed. We're still going to be eyeing Trump. It's a very weak economic data week. The first significant U.S. economic data comes out on Friday with GDP and durable goods. So just a quick update on the charts. Mike, go ahead and take over.
Thanks, Bob. So quick update first on the euro. We talked about yesterday. We've hit our target line, which you see we could not really hold above it intraday, and we dropped back down to close right at that target line. Today, so far, we've retested yesterday's highs and sold off. We will find lots of support in this area, especially down around this 107.15, 107.20 area. We also have the rising rotation zone, which should provide further support. So look for continued support all the way to even down to the 107 area if we go lower. Now, if we do get a daily close back up above this 107.60 level, then watch for the continued push higher through our next levels, especially retesting a couple of these key highs in here, and then finally a push up to this next magenta line. Next, on the pound, we talked about a close beyond this trend line. We should push up. We've now pulled back in a concept we have, which is kissing the trend line goodbye and retesting this key support. We also have a rising rotation zone on this chart. We should have the key support in around this 124.20 level and higher. We're now moving back up. Or if we get back up above yesterday's closing price, watch for that continued push higher. But don't set your targets on the downside. It's looks to be very limited with the rising rotation zone and very key support that we tested today. Finally, on the US dollar, Japanese yen, we talked about a bullish and bearish case. Yesterday, we did sell off and retest the lows as we called out. We could not really get below those prior lows. So these levels are still in place. If we continue to go lower, especially trade significantly below yesterday's low. If not, we can easily retest this declining rotation zone. So any targets to the upside, you can target around yesterday's high and the 8 EMA. Then if we get through there, you can look to go up around this 114 to 114.50 level, which would put you in here. Only if we get through there will we be back into a bullish case where we could then trigger this potential double bottom. So keep your upside targets sort of limited and don't extend them too far. And then watch if we do break down again through yesterday's lows for a continued downward move, possibly to the 111.64 level. That's all I have, Bob. Back to you.
Thanks, Michael. Again, as I mentioned earlier, although I stuttered a little bit through it, the first significant U.S. data this week comes on Friday. So watch for executive orders, watch for tweets, watch for press conference comments. Those will likely be the focus in the U.S. Obviously, we're starting to get into the meat of earnings season in terms of the equity markets, which really starts really hot and heavy like first week of February, but there is a little of it now. So.
But just so everybody knows, today as you mentioned, we do have a significant earnings coming out today. We have Samsung, so keep an eye on that. They also did announce they found their battery problem with the Note 7. So if you don't know about that, you should definitely Google it. Speaking of Google, on Thursday you have Alphabet / formerly Google reporting earnings along with Microsoft, Ford, and Starbucks. So that's a big earnings day. Wednesday we have Boeing and AT&T. And then Friday is the first reading of the fourth quarter GDP. So all those things could have impacts on the market. So stay alert. And if you're in any of those stocks, make sure you know when the earnings are announced.
I mean, obviously, U.S. equity market affects currencies because it'll affect the U.S. dollar and will affect anything versus the U.S. dollar, which all three pairs we just covered are obviously versus the U.S. dollar. So it's important to know, even if you're just simply an FX trader, what earnings are coming out and what might affect it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mikey. We'll talk to you soon. Another Path Chat. Go to the Money Path podcast. Subscribe to that for full analysis of a lot of the things we talk about. Cheers, guys.